Welcome back to another episode of me just yapping. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about why your branding is more important than the music you make or the art you create. You feel what I'm saying? Please excuse my hair. I'm in the middle of combing out my locks. So, yeah, just going for a different look, just trying to switch shit up. You feel me? But hear me out. For the past like 6 to 8 months, I've been working on establishing a look and feel and just establishing a brand for myself. Unknowingly, I didn't even know I was doing this shit. But throughout those past 6 to 8 months, my biggest fucking supporter, my dad is my biggest fucking supporter ever, bruh. I'm talking about like this nigga is more tapped in than any of you niggas. I put that on God. He knows every single song I've ever dropped, bruh. Like, the shit is crazy. But he would always drill in my head, like, you gotta create a brand for yourself. Or, what the fuck? So hear me out, right? This dude would, like, always drill in my head, like, you're creating a brand. You're creating a brand. Like, he was trying to get me hyped up, right? And I didn't see it. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're creating a brand for yourself. Like Pepsi, they got a logo and they have a look and feel, and you're literally making that for Planet Nexus. Now, at first I had no idea what he was talking about, but like as the months and months went on and I started dropping more shit, just doing more shit and being more active with Planet Nexus, I realized, yo, he's right. I'm over here creating a whole, Planet Nexus is a brand. It's mainly like a label. Like, that's what I'm kind of going for. It's a label, but not only is it a label, it's a brand as well, which is kind of crazy. I kind of blew my own mind there, because it's like, wow, I really am creating a brand. And as I'm diving deeper into that endeavor, I'm starting to realize how important it is to have a brand and to create a brand for yourself, especially if you're an artist or running a business. Anything, branding is the most important thing. Your image, how people look at you. And that's more important than the actual product or service itself. You know what I'm saying? In Black Mafia Family, in the first two seasons, Meech and Terry, their whole brand for their drug dealing operation was the 50 Boys. You know what I'm saying? They were known for selling $50 bags of crack. That's branding. You know what I'm saying? Drug dealers, the branding behind that business is like, you got the purest shit or you got the best shit. You know what I'm saying? For music, it's not going to be that. Your brand has to be something unique, because you think about how many artists are out here trying to do exactly what I'm doing, and I'm assuming what you're doing too, because you're watching this video. Everyone has their own brand. Jay-Z has a brand, Rick Ross has a brand, Drake has his brand, Kendrick is a brand. You know what I'm saying? Their look and feel. And that goes for, when it comes to artists, your look and feel is going to come from your music videos and your cover arts. Anything that's visual, anything you can see. You know what I'm saying? So how do you, a big question, is how do you, establish your brand? And it's much easier than you think. If you think it's hard, it's not hard at all. Basically, you just got to shout out something, long enough into the empty void until people start hearing it and catch on. I've been repping Planet Nexus since I was 14 years old. I'm finna be 20 in September. That's almost 6 years of me just saying some random shit until other people caught on. You know what I'm saying? I never really, it wasn't my intentions for it to be this way. You know what I'm saying? It was never my intentions to create a brand or even create a label. You know what I'm saying? Nexus was just literally the name of the album, the project that I was working on at the time. And as I kept on shouting out Nexus and kept on dropping shit under the Nexus name, Planet Nexus was born. You know what I'm saying? I made the Discord, and that's a big part of the brand, the Discord. Everyone joins Planet Nexus and sends their beats whenever I do beat listening streams and shit like that. Also, shout out Elky, or not Elky, Eclipse. I don't know why I call him Elky. Eclipse. That's the dude who's doing most of my cover arts right now. He's done the cover arts for pretty much all my singles and albums. Like he's did the Nexus Advance series. He did a couple of drawings for singles in that series. He's also did my channel art. He made the Planet Nexus logo. Like literally, Eclipse is responsible for the whole look and feel of the Planet Nexus brand that I got today. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to creating your brand, if you have a team, you want to have a team that you're consistently tapping in with. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a videographer, use that videographer. Don't use anyone else. Use that nigga you know. Just like my boy Maury. My brother from another mother, bro. My nigga. Even though he's not even fucking black. You know what I'm saying? I always turn to him for features because one, we're in a rap duo, the Penguin Boys. You feel what I'm saying? And two, that's my boy. He's a part of the brand. Maury is a big part of the brand. People like 21K. He's a big part of the brand. Planet Nexus, Harper, JTL Beats, all these people, Scars, Mari, all these people that I work with, they're a huge part of the brand. Ugazi, it's always Ray. Y'all niggas are a part of this Planet Nexus label, this brand that I've been building unintentionally for the past couple years. So you definitely want to have a team around you. You want to have some ride or die motherfucking soldiers who are going to fucking push your brand just as much as you're willing to push it. Camp Cash, that's Johnny's brand. You know what I'm saying? I support Camp Cash. I'm in Camp Cash. Camp Cash, that's the brand. I'm going to push that shit too. As much as he pushes Planet Nexus. You know what I'm saying? A big part of having a good brand is having a good team. You can, but it's going to be hard to create, a brand all by yourself. That's why I'm extremely grateful for all these people that I fuck with, man, because like they're not only, expressing their art, but they're using that art that they express to help me out and to help push the brand that I'm trying to push. You know what I'm saying? And it amazes me that these people are willing to do this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I always ask, like, why are they willing to help push me as much, push this brand as much as I'm willing to push it? And that's because, they believe in it. So it's really important if you're going to have a brand or have a label or anything and push it, you have to have people who truly believe in what you're pushing and what you're doing. And to get people to truly believe in what you're doing, you just got to do it yourself, Being an artist or running a business, period, you're going to have to work really hard while no one is looking. And, once you work hard and you establish something for yourself, and then you take that sauce that you use to establish yourself with and give it to other people. It's just like a job. This shit is no different from a fucking job when you think about it. Because in a job, right, you get hired in, you get trained by someone, or you learn how to do the job. And then eventually, after a couple years, you get so good at the job that not only are you an essential employee, but you're probably training people and showing new people and showing other people how to do the job. It's the same thing. You work hard, you establish a formula, and you learn how to do what the fuck you're doing. And you get so good at it to the point to where you become a leader. And you're able to teach other people how to do what you do. And I did that. That wasn't my goal. It wasn't in my, that wasn't part of the goal, but I did it. And now I have to, accept this responsibility. This is something that my dad was really drilling in my head, because I was saying like, oh man, it ain't even like that at all, bro. We just here making music. I'm just a rapper. But no, Planet Nexus is much bigger than that. He kept telling me like, nigga, you don't know what you're doing. Like, you're doing something huge. And it's starting to dawn on me. I'm starting to realize like, what I've been doing. The purpose of this video is not just to, not just for me to talk about what I'm doing. It's to kind of, express what I'm learning to be able to give sauce to other people. I'm not there yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. But that doesn't mean I can't teach people while I'm, on the way up. You know what I'm saying? The other purpose of this video is also for me to express my gratitude and appreciation for all the Planet Nexus soldiers out there, for all the niggas who've been by my side, even through the crazy shit, that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate all the people who've helped me out. T9 helping me do music videos and making music with me, just giving me tips and sauce. Maury, a fucking goat. He's the only reason why I popped out. Like, Maury is the one that gets all the shows that I go to. Shout out to Ambition Deficiency niggas, Toast, Kada, JetX, all them niggas, we're all on the same mission. We're all on the same mission. That's obviously to become big in music. But there's elements to this shit. And one of the biggest elements is branding. If you don't have a brand or a look and feel for your shit, your music isn't going to matter. You know what I mean? The whole goal is to create something that's cool. Create something that people want to be a part of. Like, I remember back in 6th grade, right? When I was in 6th grade around 2015, 16, I think. Yeah, 2014, 15, 16, around that time. That's when Nikes and Jordans were like really starting to take off, as far as like for me in my life. That's when I started. I'm not going to say that's when Jordan and Nike got popular. They've been popular for fucking ever. But that's when I started to see like everyone was wearing Nikes and Jordans. You know what I'm saying? And I had Converses. I remember I had some Chuck Taylors, and niggas was, making fun of me. They was like, what are those? Remember that? They was like, what are those? And I remember I was like, what the fuck, dude? I'm just wearing Converses, dude. But everyone had on Nikes and Jordans, and they was like, bro, you missing out, bro. You don't got these new motherfucking Concord 11s or the Breads or what? I'm like, nigga, I didn't know. They put me hip, And now every shoe I buy damn near is either Nike or Jordan. Like, I'm literally looking at a pair of Air Maxes right on the floor. And yesterday, I literally just got a new pair of Jordans shipped in. So because of that, because of seeing everyone wearing Jordans and Nikes in 6th grade, that changed me as a person. That made me only want to buy Nikes and Jordans whenever I get shoes. And that's pretty much all I've been wearing ever since 6th grade was Nikes and Jordans. Because of that, it was like a fear of missing out. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what I want to create for Planet Nexus, like a fear of missing out. If you ain't listening to these niggas in Planet Nexus, if you don't listen to Penguin Boys, if you don't listen to Eustace Maury, if you don't listen to 21K Advance, if you don't listen to Tuda, if you don't listen to Scars or fucking Mario the Goat, what the fuck are you doing with your life, bruh? Like, that's like what I want to create, fear of missing out. That's how you sell anything. That's how you sell anything, right? Is you're creating this FOMO, this fear of missing out. So branding is more important than is definitely more important than the art you create, because how are you going to bring people to your music? How are you going to bring people to look at the shit you create if you don't give them a reason to? You know what I'm saying? If you don't, you got to make your whole image look cool. You know what I'm saying? And ever since the beginning of rap, it's always been about branding. You think about NWA. Now, Ice Cube wasn't no fucking gangster, but he had that image. He had that branding, which made him look like a gangster. And that's how NWA took off. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're creating a fear of missing out. Now, you don't have to put on a persona or anything like that. That's one thing I've been struggling with a lot being a rapper and hanging out with other rappers is like, do I have to create this type of persona for myself that I'm this hard nigga that carries around guns and shit like that? Because I'm not at all. Yeah, I was born in Detroit, but nigga, you wouldn't be able to tell unless I told you, which I just did. You know what I'm saying? So I'm also finding that balance between trying to, you know, have a good image, not necessarily a gangster image, but just, a larger than life persona or ego. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to balance that while still being myself because when you're a rapper, you're also an actor, I think. You have to pretend to be this person, be a person that you're not, and it definitely gets to your head for sure. Like when I was in Michigan, I just moved from Michigan to Houston, but when I was up in Michigan, right before I moved, I'll say a couple months before I moved, I was hanging around these dudes. Not gonna say their names, but I was hanging around these rappers and I was recording them damn near every day. We was making music together. But these were niggas that were like, trying to be hard. Like they had that hard persona. They carried guns and they always talked about shooting niggas and doing drug deals and robbing the plug. This, that, and the other. And me, I'm like a sponge. So whatever environment I'm around, I'm gonna soak that shit up and become a product of that environment. So when I was surrounded by those niggas, I turned into a whole different person. I kind of lost myself for a minute. I became a lot more violent and aggressive and just more willing to fight and all that shit. And talking about shooting niggas, doing that, robbing niggas, that ain't me at all. But I became a product of my environment. I don't know what this has to do with branding, but I guess their branding affected me. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting way off topic. Every time I do these videos, I just start rambling and rambling and rambling. But yeah, I became a product of that environment and became a much more violent person. And that shit was crazy. Like how their branding affected me. You know what I'm saying? And I know they're not like that at all because we weren't in a ghetto neighborhood at all. We was in a nice middle class neighborhood where I was living. So it's like, these niggas are not really like that, but they're pretending to be like that because they're trying to, project that image out in the world because we're all rappers. You know what I'm saying? So I think the moral of the story I'm trying to reveal is be careful. Be careful with what you want your brand to be. Do you want to be yourself? Well, you can't completely be yourself, but do you want to be more like yourself? Whatever you're into, or do you want to, be a product of your environment, or do you want to portray and be this hard gangster? You have to be careful because, it can really affect your mental health and, kind of change who you are as a person. Especially if you're like me and you just soak everything in. Like, it's very hard to have discernment sometimes because I'm soaking everything in. Like I said, I'm a fucking sponge. I'm not just going to sit there and just sit there. Like I'm going to soak everything in and kind of become, fit in. That just comes from, me always wanting to fit in places. You know what I'm saying? I've always wanted to fit in, and I don't know why. Because when I look back on like my school days, going to high school, going to middle school, elementary school, I was that nigga who was friends with everybody, like the nerds, the cool kids, the gangsters, drug dealers. I was hanging out with everybody. I never had like this group of people that I hung around. Like it was just everyone. I was saying what's up to everybody. I was talking to everybody. And so I think my ability to do that was because I had that ability to do that because I had the ability to kind of mold myself to be a certain type of person around anyone else. Like I could just like kind of switch personalities like that. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm just me. I'm just talking, I'm me, but then I can become this funny ass, spontaneous person that just says random shit like booty nigga balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know, branding is important. I'm just saying shit at this point, dude. Branding is important though. So make sure if you're creating art that you create a look and feel around it. Create a brand because you're not just an artist. You're a fucking corporation, nigga. You're a business. Okay, this real business shit, nigga. We standing on business. On the guys, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's enough of my rambling. Continue to make music. Continue to establish your brand and surround yourself with like-minded individuals who will not only push themselves but help push you. If you do that, then surely that is a recipe for success. You feel what I'm saying? But with that being said, I'm about to sign out, finish combing out my dreads. I'm not going to finish it today, though. Bro, it took me the entirety of yesterday just to get 2 dreads out. So it's probably going to take me a couple months or something like that. But pretty soon you're going to be seeing Screw with a big, giant fucking Michael Jackson afro. So, yeah, keep being awesome. Peace out, niggas.